What's up, guys? Today we're going to be talking about somebody who is definitely going to be a big part of our journey on Eternum. Her name is Isabella. There's only a few hints about her so far, and I'm going to dig through all the relevant lore to try to answer as best as I can who she is, what does she want, and most importantly, is she good, evil, or just...
Boy. Damn, boy, he's thick. Boy, that's a thick-ass boy.
So sit back, relax, grab a nice warm drink, and enjoy the story. So we all know Isabella is corrupted, which is given away by her red eyes, and the amulet that she wears is shown to hold some sort of corrupted power, easily corrupting those who come into direct contact. But the way Isabella speaks sounds like she still has free will, and not being controlled by the corruption, like many of the corrupted do. Maybe she can wield the corruption without being consumed by it, harnessing its power with a cost. But what is the price of a power like that? With that in mind, I have a few journal pages that can give us some insight to what she wants from us. Duality of the word. I have remained here, hidden, writing all that I can while I am still able to do so. A sound fills my mind at times, and images as well. They seem familiar, but I cannot understand them. I fear this corruption is overtaking me. Perhaps, in my writings, I will find a way to stop it. Perhaps I will find a way to save myself from, with the powers they have at their disposal. I am no closer to discovering their long-term goals, but in the short term, it seems as though Isabella has returned from her travels around the island, bringing a number of new converts with her. She seems to be important to the plans underway here. Some of those she has brought may only increase their numbers, but some seem specifically selected. Experienced smiths, alchemists, men and women of science. It may be that there are plans of some kind of profane construction. I am unsure how much time has passed, how long I have held myself in this place. My stories are nearly depleted, and the time for escape has long since passed. My only solace is that somehow, whoever finds this may glean some new information from it. I have seen all manners of oddities brought through here in the recent days. Hundreds of trees brought from all around the island. Carts of ore placed around the base of a thorn with the coldest chanting incessantly. Boxes and bins and bags stuffed with unknowable items. Something is happening. Something dreadful. Something I am powerless to stop. As the journal suggests, the corruption is all-consuming and leaves very little room for free thought, or at least clear thoughts, without feeling the fog and confusion. It's curious how Isabella seems to be fine, if the majority of people that we've seen and heard about lose their minds when exposed to the corruption. It's almost as if she's coexisting with it. Maybe she struck a deal where she's able to remain herself in both mind and will, in exchange for fortifying the corrupted forces with soldiers and expert in anything that can aid in war. It might sound crazy, but if she did make a deal, maybe she's stuck, forced to do horrible things to cling on to the last parts of her that's human. A deal that once sounded like a good option compared to being lost to the corruption, but a fate no one should live, one of constant regret. I have some more journal pages, and you'll notice how they mention nothing of the red eyes. All corrupted shown so far have red eyes. It might be possible Isabella didn't have them at this point in time. Or maybe a more interesting question might be, is she able to hide them? An enticing offer. A bunch of the boys brought me a right interesting one today. Some missus strolling around in the camp like she owned the place. They tried to rough her up a bit, find out what she had fetched. She cut down 2 of my men without batting an eye. Then she asked for me, by name. Never met her before, but she seems to know a lot about me. Told me she was looking for strong captains and crews to join her. Didn't really say what for, but she's got to fire that one. Have to talk it over with my men, but I'm inclined to take this Isabella up on her offer. Northward bound. Since she arrived, I've been more and more impressed by Isabella. Whoever her master may be, they know a lot about this damned island. The idea to take people out and drown them near the storm line? Whew! That's done more to keep my crew in line than any beatings or exiles have. This island cuts out the threats of execution, so a good captain has to be creative. She's invited all of us to come up north with her, towards a shattered mountain, and is somehow guaranteeing our safety. From all she's told me, I want to believe her. This place is dangerous, even with the staunch crew at your back. Allies are our only hope. I'll tell my men tomorrow. Whispers of mutiny. Captain says we should join up with this Isabella. the sassy one who cut down Hans and Bosun. Sure, they came back right quick, but weren't happy with it. And after what happened next, not sure I am either. She's a looker for sure, and fights like 3 men. But something seems to touch off with her. Can't put my finger on it. But when she was looking over the men, she had this look. Only time I'd seen it before was on a man's face after a week without food, about to get a bite of gruel. She looked at me, felt like my head was in a vice, or I'd just drank a fifth of the captain's private stock. She looked away, and it was gone. If the captain decides to go along with this, I might just try to slip away, see how many of the others want to tag along. If that doesn't work, maybe I'll have to take matters into my own hands. A cautionary tale. Not sure I should be writing this. After what happened to Salvatore, the captain caught wind of a mutiny from Sal and the others, and Isabella gave him new ideas of punishment. He took 5 of them and stuffed them into barrels, then hauled them over past the breakers, as far out as he could get, cracked a hole in each barrel, and then kicked them overboard. From what that Isabella has said, it was far enough out that when they come back, they're likely to be drowned, which is a fate no sailor wants. Everyone's scared, not just of her, but of the hold she has on the captain. Now I see why Sal was so desperate to either escape or take over. I only hope I'm not next, after writing this down. So, like I said earlier, they say nothing of Isabella's red eyes, which might imply she didn't have them, or at least hid them, during this time she spent with the captain and his crew. And it's worth noting, when he stated in his journal that he felt like his head was in a vice, that could be a nod saying she has some form of telekinetic power. We've seen something similar with the first boss when he pulls his sword towards him. Unfortunately, I think this entire thing brings more questions than answers. For instance, does Isabella have more control over her corrupted powers compared to the normal corrupted? What does she want with strong captains other than war? And how much does the amulet she wields affect her? And is it the key to her suppressing the effects of the corruption? The players get her amulet for a pre-order package, which I assume you will be able to get in-game from a quest featuring Isabella. Could the amulet be a gift from a friend or well-earned loot? There's so many questions. Maybe we can come back at some time once more information is revealed, and truly try to figure out who Isabella is, and answer the question, is she our enemy? I'm curious about what you guys think. We don't have much solid information on your story, so we're left to speculate for a good portion of it. And I'm sure there's some things I said that you guys disagree with. Feel free to tell me about it, and maybe we can have a discussion about it. I hope you all enjoyed this video on some of the lore. If you did, be sure to tell me, and we might be able to make this a regular thing. There's a whole lot more to cover. I'll go ahead and end it here. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, have a good one.